Grow Your Mindset podcast. Grow your mind. Change your life.
Imagine you are having a really terrible day.
Oh, we all have those days.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It is not just a little bad. It is the worst day of your whole year.
Right.
Maybe you just lost your job. Your boss called you into the office, looked at you, and said, "We do not need you anymore."
Oh, wow. That is awful.
It really is. Or maybe a romantic relationship just ended. The person you love looked at you and said, "Well, I do not want to be with you anymore."
It hurts so much.
It does. You feel this heavy weight in your chest. You feel totally exhausted. You feel completely confused. Your mind is just racing. You are wondering, what am I going to do now?
Right, because everything just changed.
Exactly. So you call a good friend. You meet them at a coffee shop. You sit down and you start crying.
Naturally.
You tell them all about your pain. And then your friend looks at you. They give you a little smile. They pat your hand and they say, "Do not worry. Everything happens for a reason."
Oh, man. People hear that phrase all the time.
They really do.
It is everywhere, You see it on internet pictures. You hear it in movies. Friends say it to friends. Parents say it to children.
Yes, they do. But I want to ask you, the listener, a very direct question. Think about a time someone said that to you.
Good question.
How did that phrase make you feel in that exact moment? Did it actually help you?
Probably not.
Right. Did it make the heavy feeling in your chest go away, or did it make you feel much worse?
Sometimes it makes you want to scream.
Yes, it makes you want to scream. For so many people, hearing everything happens for a reason when they are in deep pain, well, it feels terrible.
It feels like a slap in the face.
Exactly. It feels like your friend is pushing your pain away, like they are telling you to just be quiet.
It is a very complicated phrase, I think.
Mm-hmm.
On the surface, it sounds nice, but underneath, it can cause a lot of damage to a person's mind.
Well, welcome to the Grow Your Mindset podcast. I am so glad you are choosing to spend your time with us today.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Today, we are talking about that famous phrase. We want to know, is it actually true?
Does the universe really have a secret plan for every bad thing that happens?
Right. And more importantly, how do our most difficult, painful moments shape the person we become? We are going to explore this together.
I am really looking forward to this. We have a lot of important things to talk about.
We do. We have a clear path for our conversation today. First, we will talk about why this idea that everything happens for a reason can feel very unfair.
Yeah, why it sometimes hurts more than it helps.
Exactly. Second, we will discuss how you can find your own meaning when your life gets completely confusing.
That is a big one.
Third, we will walk step by step through how life's events change your mindset. We're going to break down how human behavior works.
Step by step is the best way to learn.
I agree. And finally, we will give you 3 very practical tips. These are real tools you can use in your everyday life.
You can start using them the minute you finish listening to us today.
Perfect. This is a massive topic for self-improvement.
It really is. It is the core of how humans grow.
Because, well, here is the absolute truth. We cannot control what happens to us.
No, we cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot control the economy, so you might lose your job.
Right?
You cannot control other people, so someone might break your heart. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control sickness.
Bad things will happen to you. That is just a fact of human life.
Exactly. But, and this is the most important part, you absolutely control how you understand those events.
Oh, I like that.
You control the story you tell yourself after the bad thing happens.
I love how you say that. We do not control the event, but we control the story.
Yes.
So let us jump right into part 1.
Mm.
When everything happens for a reason, feels like a lie.
Because sometimes it really does feel like a lie.
It does. Sometimes bad things just happen. There is no beautiful, magical story behind them.
Right.
Think about someone who gets a terrible disease. Or think about a family that loses their home in a horrible fire.
That is so sad.
If you look at them and say, well, it happened for a reason, that feels cruel. It feels deeply unkind.
It feels cruel because it forces the person to find a positive meaning when they're just trying to survive the pain.
Right. They're just trying to breathe.
Exactly. When people hear everything happens for a reason, their brain automatically asks a dangerous question.
What question is that?
Their brain asks, well, what is the reason? And if the event is terrible, the brain starts looking for someone to blame.
What do you mean by that? How does the brain look for blame?
Well, if we believe that every bad thing has a secret reason, then we think the universe is punishing us.
Oh, I see.
We think Maybe I am sick because I did not eat enough vegetables when I was younger.
Or, maybe my house burned down because I am a bad person and I deserve bad things.
Yes, it makes people feel like they're being punished for making a mistake.
That is terrible.
It adds guilt on top of their sadness. Sadness is already heavy. Guilt makes it impossible to carry.
That makes total sense. You are already suffering, and now you think it is your own fault. I want to bring up a phrase we hear a lot today. It is called toxic positivity.
Oh yes, toxic positivity.
We hear this on the internet a lot, but I want to understand how it actually works. What is toxic positivity and why is it dangerous?
I will explain it very simply. Toxic positivity is the pressure to always be happy.
Like a rule.
Yes, it is the rule that you must always smile no matter how terrible your life is right now.
That sounds exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is when you are crying and someone tells you to just look on the bright side.
So why is it called toxic?
Toxic means poisonous. It is toxic because it tells you that your natural human feelings are wrong.
Can you give me an example, like how this happens in real life?
Sure. Imagine your dog dies. You have loved this dog for 10 years.
Oh, that is so sad.
You are heartbroken. Sadness is the correct feeling. Your body needs to feel sad to heal.
Right, crying is normal.
But then someone uses toxic positivity on you. They say, do not cry. At least you had a dog for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
They say, focus on the good times. Be happy you had him.
Even just hearing you say that makes me feel angry. It feels like they are saying my sadness is a mistake.
Yes, they are telling you that negative emotions are bad and must be stopped immediately.
But that cannot be healthy.
It is not. Let us look at what happens inside your brain when this occurs.
Okay.
Inside your brain, there's a tiny alarm system. When your dog dies, the alarm rings. The alarm says, we are in pain.
So the alarm is a good thing.
Yes. If you cry and talk about your pain, the brain slowly turns the alarm off. It processes the emotion.
But what happens if you listen to the toxic positivity? What if you force yourself to smile?
If you force yourself to smile and pretend you are happy, your brain gets very confused.
Confused how?
The alarm is ringing because you are in pain, but your face is smiling. Your brain thinks, wait, why are we smiling?
Oh, I see.
The brain says, there's a huge problem. The alarm is ringing. Because your actions do not match your feelings. The brain panics.
So the alarm gets louder.
Yes, it rings the alarm even louder. Pushing your sadness down actually creates much more stress inside your body.
Wow.
It actually harms your nervous system.
That is fascinating. So by trying to force happiness, we actually damage our bodies.
Yes, and we make the pain last longer.
We are humans. Life is not a perfectly straight line. Good behavior does not always get a reward, and bad behavior does not always get a punishment.
Exactly.
I mean, I know very kind, honest people who have had terrible accidents.
We all do.
And I know very selfish people who win the lottery. Life is incredibly beautiful, but it is also incredibly hard.
It is both. Life is beautiful and hard at the exact same time. We have to accept that reality.
The universe does not owe us a perfect life just because we say please and thank you.
Right.
But I have to push back on this a little bit. I want to challenge what you were saying.
Okay, go ahead.
If there is no magical reason for bad things, isn't that a scary thought?
Well, so.
If bad things just happen randomly, like a car accident or a sudden sickness, it means we have absolutely no control.
That is true.
It means we cannot protect our families just by being good people. I think that is why people say everything happens for a reason.
You want to feel safe.
Yes, they want to believe they are safe. Taking that safety away sounds very scary to me.
I hear you. It is completely normal to feel scared when you realize you are not in control.
Really?
Yes, the human brain loves control. We love rules. We want to believe that if we follow all the rules, we will be perfectly safe forever.
But we will not be.
No.
Yeah.
Clinging to that false control is exhausting. Accepting that the universe is somewhat random can actually be a massive relief.
A relief? Wait, how can losing control feel like a relief? Please explain that because I feel tense just thinking about it.
Think about the heavy weight of blame we talked about earlier.
Right, the guilt.
If bad things only happen for a specific reason, then every time you fail, you must analyze it. You must fix it.
You have to figure out why.
Yes. You must find the deep spiritual meaning behind a flat tire on your car. That is a lot of work.
It is exhausting.
But if you accept that life is sometimes random, you can drop that heavy weight.
So a flat tire is just a flat tire.
Exactly. If a loud storm damages the roof of your house, it is not because you forgot to call your mother on her birthday.
The universe is not punishing me for being a bad child.
Right. The universe is not punishing you. It is just a storm. The weather is just the weather.
Wow, that does feel lighter.
When you stop trying to control things you cannot control, you save a massive amount of mental energy.
You just say, well, this is a very hard moment.
Yes, you say, it is very sad, but it is not my fault.
And I do not have to solve the mystery of the universe today. I just need to fix my roof.
Perfectly said. You remove the personal blame, you remove the guilt, you just face the problem in front of you.
See what you mean now.
And when you remove the pressure to find a magical reason, and you remove the toxic positivity, you open a new door.
What door is that?
You open the door to finding joy anyway.
Finding joy anyway. That sounds like a contradiction. Well, how do you find joy when you are having a terrible day? We just agreed that life is hard.
It is important to understand the difference between happiness and joy.
Okay, what is the difference?
Happiness is mostly tied to your situation.
Mm,
If you are sitting on a warm beach with a cold drink, you are happy.
right, because the situation is good.
Exactly. If you are sitting in a cold hospital waiting room, you are not happy.
Yeah,
Your situation is bad.
makes sense.
You cannot force happiness in a bad situation.
Okay, so happiness depends on the environment. What about joy?
Joy is different. Joy is a tiny spark of light. Joy is an internal choice to appreciate a tiny moment, even in the dark.
Even on a bad day.
Yes, you can find a moment of joy on your saddest day.
Can you paint a picture of that for me? Give me a real-life example of joy and sadness living together.
Imagine you are going through a painful divorce. You feel deeply rejected.
Okay, very sad situation.
You're sitting in your kitchen crying. The sadness is very real. But then your sister comes over to visit.
That is nice of her.
She knows you are sad. She does not tell you to cheer up. Instead, she brings you a cup of your favorite hot coffee from a special cafe.
Oh, I love that.
She sits with you. For a moment, she tells a silly story about a bird she saw outside. You take a sip of the warm coffee. It tastes delicious.
And you forget about the divorce.
No. You smile at her story. For 30 seconds, you laugh.
So in those 30 seconds, the pain is gone.
No, the pain is not gone. You are still going through a divorce. The heavy sadness is still sitting in the kitchen with you.
That sounds hard.
It is. But in that exact same moment, you feel the warmth of the coffee. You feel the love of your sister. You feel a spark of joy.
So they mix together.
Yes, the joy and the sadness exist in your body at the exact same time.
That is a beautiful way to explain it. Joy and sadness can sit in the exact same room.
Exactly.
You do not have to wait for the sadness to completely disappear before you are allowed to enjoy a good cup of coffee.
Right. You can have a beautiful, terrible day. You can notice the bright yellow flowers growing on the street, even while you are walking to a job interview you are terrified of.
I really like that idea.
We survive hard things by stopping the fight. We stop trying to force everything to be positive. We accept the hard reality, and we gently look for tiny moments of joy anyway.
This brings us naturally to part 2 of our conversation, creating your own meaning.
Yes, let us move to that.
We just agreed that the universe does not always plan a specific reason for your pain. Sometimes bad things just happen.
They do.
So how do we move forward? If the reason is not handed to you, what do you do with your pain?
This is the turning point in our mindset journey. This is where we move from being passive to being active.
Let us define those words for our listeners. What does it mean to be passive versus active in this situation?
Passive means you sit still and wait for something to happen to you.
Like doing nothing.
Right. If you are passive, you sit in your pain and say, I will wait here until the universe reveals the reason for my suffering.
And you might wait forever.
You might wait forever. Active means you stand up, you use your hands, and you do something yourself.
So you take control.
Yes. Instead of waiting for a reason to magically appear, you create your own reason.
Ah, I love that. So I do not ask the sky, why did this happen to me?
No, you do not.
Instead, I look at the event and ask, what am I going to do with this now that it has happened?
Exactly. You become the author of your own story. You take the difficult event and you turn it into a lesson.
You decide the meaning.
You decide what the tragedy will mean for the rest of your life. The event itself might be completely horrible,
Right.
but the outcome, what happens next in your mind, in your heart, can be incredibly positive.
I want to explore this deeply. Let us look at some common meanings that human beings create after they go through a very hard time.
Let's do it.
What do people usually learn when they are forced to be active?
One of the most powerful lessons people create is letting go of fear.
Letting go of fear. How does pain help us let go of fear? That sounds a bit strange.
Why does it sound strange?
Well, usually pain makes us more afraid. If I touch a hot stove, I am afraid of the stove.
Let me give you a story. Imagine a man who is terrified of losing his money.
Okay,
He has a decent job, but he worries every single day. He wakes up sweating.
because of the fear.
Yes. He thinks, what if the company closes?
Mm,
What if I cannot pay my rent? What if I end up on the street?
that is a lot of worry.
The worry gives him awful stomach aches. He lives in a prison of fear for years.
I know so many people who live exactly like that. The fear of the future ruins their present day.
Exactly. Now, imagine the worst thing happens. The economy crashes.
Oh.
His company closes. He loses his job. He has no income. The exact thing he feared has arrived at his front door.
That sounds like a nightmare. Does he completely fall apart?
He might cry for a few days,
Mhm.
but then human survival kicks in. He realizes he has to eat.
Right, he has to do something.
So he asks a friend for help. He gets a temporary job washing dishes. It is hard work, but he pays for his food.
He takes action.
He finds a cheaper apartment. He survives. After 6 months, he looks back and realizes something amazing.
What does he realize?
The worst possible thing happened, and he did not die. He handled it.
Oh, I see. The monster in the closet finally came out, and it was not as big as he thought.
Yes. Suddenly, he is no longer afraid. He lost his fear because he survived the worst.
He turned a bad event into a tool.
He takes that terrible event, losing his job, and he creates a meaning. He tells himself a new story.
What is the story?
He says, I am much stronger than my fear. I can survive anything. He created a shield out of his tragedy.
That is incredibly powerful. He used the pain to become brave. What is another meaning people create from pain?
Accepting ourselves. This is a very quiet, gentle lesson.
Accepting ourselves. How does that work?
Think about a time you made a massive mistake. You did not just have bad luck, you actually did something wrong.
Uh-oh.
Maybe you lied to a good friend and you ruined the friendship. Or maybe you were lazy and you failed a very important exam.
Those moments are the worst. The shame is so heavy. You look in the mirror and you hate the person looking back at you.
The shame is very heavy. In that dark moment, your brain calls you terrible names.
Yes, it does.
Your brain says, you are a failure. You are a bad friend. You do not deserve anything good.
It is so painful.
But if you choose to be active, you can create a beautiful meaning from this failure. You can learn self-compassion.
How do you do that? How do you show compassion to yourself when you know you messed up?
You look at the mistake, you apologize to the friend, and then you say to yourself, I am a human being.
And humans make mistakes.
Exactly. Humans are messy. Humans make mistakes. My mistake does not mean I am a monster.
So you learn to be kind to yourself.
You learn that your value as a person does not depend on being perfect. You learn to love yourself even when you are losing. You learn to forgive yourself.
That is so important. If you can only love yourself when you are winning, your love is very weak. You have to love yourself when you're at the bottom.
Very true.
Okay, let us talk about one more common meaning. I think this one connects us to other people.
Yes. Becoming a better person by helping others.
How does that happen?
When you experience deep, sharp pain, you gain a new superpower. You truly understand what pain feels like in the body,
Like physical feeling.
both physical and emotional.
Huh?
If you lose someone you love to a sickness, you know the heavy, crushing feeling of grief. You know how hard it is to get out of bed in the morning?
You become an expert in that specific type of sadness.
Exactly. And later in your life, you will see a friend or a coworker go through the exact same thing.
Right.
Before your tragedy, you would not know what to do. You might say something clumsy or avoid them because you feel awkward.
I have done that. You just do not know what to say.
But now, because of your pain, you know exactly how to help them. You know what words to say.
You know how to comfort them.
More importantly, you know when to just sit quietly and hold their hand. You use your past pain as a medicine to comfort someone else.
You create meaning by becoming a healer.
Exactly. You turn your pain into a tool to help others.
I want to share a picture with you, an analogy. I think it perfectly shows this idea of moving from passive to active.
Please share it.
Imagine you are walking down the street just minding your own business.
Okay.
Suddenly, a stranger runs up to you and pushes a heavy box into your hands. You open the box, and it is full of sharp, broken glass.
Ouch. You did not ask for this box. You
No.
do not want it.
No, I did not ask for it. It is dangerous. If I put my hand in the box, the glass will cut my skin. I will bleed.
So what does the box mean?
This box of broken glass represents a sudden tragedy, a sudden illness, a car crash, a betrayal.
Okay, I see. What are your options when you are holding the box?
Well, the passive option is to just sit down on the sidewalk and cry about the broken glass.
Right, wait for someone to fix it.
I can scream at the sky. I can scream at the stranger who gave it to me. And honestly, I have the right to be angry. It is unfair.
Yeah, it is very unfair.
But if I just sit there forever holding the box, my arms will get exhausted. I will be stuck on the sidewalk.
So what is the active option? How do you use the broken glass?
The active option takes a lot of time and patience. Eventually, I stop screaming. I sit down carefully. I find some strong glue.
Okay, you are taking action.
I start picking up the broken pieces of glass, one by one. Yes, sometimes I still get a small cut on my finger. The memory of the pain still stings.
It is hard work.
But I start gluing the pieces together. I arrange the different colors. It takes months, maybe years.
And what happens?
Eventually, I glue all these broken pieces into a beautiful, colorful mosaic. I create a stunning piece of art.
That is a wonderful picture, but I want to add another layer to it. I want to explain the physical process of how our minds change.
Okay, let's hear it.
Making that art is not easy. When we try to heal from trauma, it is actually very similar to building a muscle in the gym.
Building a muscle, how does that connect to the broken glass?
Think about how a muscle grows. When you lift a heavy weight at the gym, you're actually causing tiny tears in your muscle fibers. You're breaking the muscle.
It hurts.
It does hurt. The next day you are sore. But then your body sends blood and nutrients to those tiny tears.
It fixes the damage.
The body repairs the muscle, and it builds it back thicker and stronger than it was before.
Ah, so the damage is actually required for the growth.
Yes. You cannot build strong muscle without creating those tiny tears first. Emotional pain works the same way.
It creates tiny tears in my mind.
Exactly. The bad event, the broken glass, creates tiny tears in your mindset. It breaks your old way of thinking.
That makes sense.
When you do the active work of creating meaning, you are sending emotional nutrients to the damage. You heal the tears, and your mind grows back stronger and more flexible.
I really like combining those two ideas. The broken glass is the event. The gluing is the healing process.
And just like building muscle, it hurts.
It takes time, and it requires you to actively do the heavy lifting. The universe did not break the glass just so you could make art.
No.
The universe did not tear your muscle just to be mean. The event just happened.
But you made the choice to create the art. You made the choice to lift the weight and heal.
That is the ultimate truth. The event itself was terrible, but the outcome in your mindset is incredibly positive. You created the meaning.
And that leads us perfectly into part 3 of our episode.
Yes, step by step, how life's events shape you. We have talked about the theory. We talked about broken glass and torn muscles.
But people need to know how to actually do it.
Right. When I am sitting on the floor crying, how do I build this mindset? We need clear steps.
Let us break the mechanics of mindset growth into 5 clear, simple steps. If you follow these steps, you can process any challenge.
Let us do it. Step 1, change your questions. You call this the lesson? What does this mean? Break it down for me.
When a bad event happens, a human being will always react with sudden emotion. That is biology.
Like getting angry.
Yes. You miss your train to an important meeting, and your heart rate goes up. You feel hot anger.
Or feeling sad.
You fail a university test, and you feel a cold drop in your stomach. You feel deep sadness. That initial physical emotion is completely normal. Do not fight it.
Okay, so the emotion is fine. Where do people make the mistake?
The mistake happens a few minutes later. Most people get trapped in the emotion because of the words they speak inside their head.
The words.
They sit in the anger or the sadness, and they ask their brain one specific question over and over again. They ask, why is this happening to me?
Oh, the classic why me loop. Why does my car always break down? Why do I always get the bad boss?
Exactly.
Why do I have such terrible luck? I've definitely spent hours in that loop. It feels awful.
We all have. But we need to understand how the brain works to see why this question is so dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Your brain is essentially a giant search engine, like on the internet. If you type a question into a search engine, it will find an answer.
Okay.
It does not care if the answer is helpful. It just completes the task.
So if I type, why am I so unlucky into my brain?
Your brain will search your memories and find answers to prove you are unlucky.
Oh, wow.
Your brain will say, well, remember 5 years ago when you dropped your phone?
Yeah.
And remember when you failed that math quiz in high school?
It brings up all the bad stuff.
Yes. It says, it is because you are not smart enough. It is because you are a loser.
That is awful.
The question, why me, keeps you trapped acting like a victim. A victim is a person who has absolutely no power.
Right. If the world is just attacking you, you cannot change anything.
That is a terrible way to live.
So what is the mechanical shift? How do we change the search engine?
You have to interrupt the loop. When you hear yourself asking, "Why me?" take a sharp breath.
Take a breath. Okay.
Stop the search engine. Delete the text. Instead, type in a new question. What can I learn from this?
What can I learn from this that feels entirely different in my body? It feels lighter.
It feels lighter because it changes your identity. It changes you from a powerless victim into an active student. A student has power. A student is looking for useful data. Every single negative event in your life reveals your hidden habits and your weaknesses.
Give me a practical example of changing the question.
Let us use the broken car example.
Huh.
Your car breaks down on the highway. You ask, "Why me?"
And my brain says, because you are unlucky, I feel depressed.
Now change the question. Ask, "What can I learn from this?" Your brain searches for a new answer.
What does it find?
It says, well, the engine broke because you ignored the warning light on the dashboard for 3 months. The lesson is, do not ignore small warnings.
Wow. One question makes me feel like a failure. The other question gives me a clear instruction for the future. I take my power back.
Exactly. Change the question, change your focus. Now, step 2, use confusion as a signal.
Step 2, use confusion as a signal. I have to admit, I hate feeling confused.
Most people do.
When I am working on a complex project or if a friend acts weird and I do not understand why, I feel very uncomfortable.
It feels bad.
My skin feels tight. I want the confusion to end immediately.
Most human beings hate confusion. It makes us very anxious. To understand why, we have to look at our biology again.
Or biology. Okay.
Thousands of years ago, if an early human was walking in the forest and felt confused about a strange noise, they might get eaten by a dangerous animal.
That is true.
To the ancient part of your brain, confusion means danger. It means death. So your first instinct is to panic. We think confusion is our enemy.
So my brain is just trying to keep me alive. But I am not in a forest with tigers anymore. I am just in an office trying to use a new computer program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The physical panic is the same, but the situation is safe. Confusion is not your enemy anymore. It is a signal.
Like a light.
Think of it like a yellow traffic light on the road. It means caution. Something new is happening.
A signal for what, exactly? What is happening in my head?
It is a signal that your brain is building new roads. Your old way of thinking is not working for this new problem.
The old road is closed.
Right. Your brain has to work very hard to clear dirt and build a new path. This takes physical energy, which is why confusion makes you feel tired and grumpy.
Oh, that explains so much.
Imagine you only know how to add numbers. You are an expert at addition. Then a teacher hands you a complex multiplication problem. You stare at the paper. You are totally confused.
My addition skills cannot solve the multiplication problem. My old tools are useless.
Right. But the confusion does not mean you are stupid. It simply means you are standing at the edge of new knowledge. You are about to learn a new math skill.
That is a great way to look at it.
The biggest mistake people make in life is how they react to this discomfort. Because they hate the anxious feeling of confusion, they rush to make a quick decision just to feel safe again.
They just want the feeling to stop.
They just pick any answer to make the uncomfortable feeling stop.
Oh, I see this all the time in relationships. Someone has one very confusing, complicated argument with their partner.
And what do?
Instead of sitting down and trying to untangle the complicated feelings, they just say, "This is too confusing. We are breaking up."
Yes.
They rush the decision because running away is easier than figuring it out.
Precisely. They destroy the relationship just to escape the feeling of confusion. Do not do this.
So what should we do?
Step 2 says, use confusion as a signal to slow down. Sit with the uncomfortable feeling. Say to yourself out loud, I do not understand this situation right now. It feels messy.
It feels messy, but that is okay.
Yes. Say, that is perfectly okay. I will figure it out if I give my brain time to build a new road. Let your mind rest.
Slow down and let the road be built. I really like that. Let's move to step 3. This is something the whole world struggles with.
What's that?
Accept change instead of fighting reality. Humans really hate change, don't we?
We really do.
We want our favorite local restaurant to keep the exact same menu for 20 years. We want our friends to never change their opinions. We want absolute permanence.
We crave permanence because it feels safe. Comfort comes from things staying exactly the same. You know the rules, you know what to expect.
Right.
But the fundamental rule of the universe is that everything is in constant motion. Life is constant change.
We cannot stop it.
When you fight reality, you are fighting the universe,
Mm.
and you will always lose. Fighting reality wastes a massive amount of your emotional and physical energy.
I want to make sure I understand fighting reality. What does that actually look like in everyday life?
Let us imagine you planned a huge, beautiful outdoor picnic for your birthday.
Okay, sounds fun.
You invited 20 friends, you bought expensive food, you were very excited. But on the morning of your birthday, you wake up, look out the window, and see heavy, dark clouds.
Oh, no.
It starts pouring rain, thunder shaking the house. Reality is, it is raining.
Okay, that is the fact. What is the reaction?
Fighting reality is standing by the window for 2 solid hours, shaking your fists and complaining loudly.
Yelling at the sky.
You yell, "It should not be raining. The weather reporter on TV said it would be sunny." This is completely unfair.
Why does it always rain on my birthday? My whole day is ruined.
Yes. You pace back and forth, your muscles are tense, your heart is beating fast, your body is releasing stress hormones.
I have absolutely been that person by the window. I think everyone has. We think if we complain loud enough, the sky will hear us and apologize.
We act like children throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
But notice what actually happens. Does your complaining stop the rain?
No.
Does your anger change the clouds? No. The rain continues. The only thing that changes is you.
I just make myself tired.
You ruin your own mood, you exhaust yourself, you take all your daily energy and burn it in a fire of useless anger.
So we know fighting reality is a waste. What is the alternative? What does accepting change look like?
It is different than you might think.
Does it mean I have to smile and pretend I love the rain? Because that sounds like toxic positivity again.
Excellent point. No, acceptance does not mean approval. Accepting change does not mean you like it.
I can still be sad.
You are allowed to be deeply disappointed about your birthday. Acceptance just means you drop the rope in the tug-of-war.
Drop the rope. Explain that.
Imagine you are holding a thick rope, playing a game of tug-of-war. On the other side of the rope is a giant monster named reality.
Okay, me versus reality.
You pull and pull, trying to drag the monster to your side. Your hands are bleeding. You are sweating. You cannot win. What is the easiest way to end the game?
Just open your hands and drop the rope. Stop pulling.
Yes. You look out the window and you state the plain fact. You say, "It is raining." That is it. No emotion attached, just a fact.
And then what?
Once you accept the fact, you stop wasting your energy pulling the rope. Now you have a full battery of energy. What do you do with it? You use your energy to adapt and grow.
Ah, the pivot. You
Yeah.
adapt. You say, okay, fact, it is raining. I cannot change the sky. We cannot have a picnic in the park.
Right.
But I have 20 friends coming and a lot of food. Let us push the living room furniture against the walls. We will lay blankets on the floor. We will have an indoor floor picnic. I will put on a great music playlist.
Exactly. You just demonstrated perfect mindset growth. You adapted.
I use my energy for something good.
You use your precious energy to create a creative solution instead of burning your energy fighting the clouds.
That makes so much sense.
Whenever you face a big change in life, maybe you get a new manager at work who changes all the rules, or maybe you get a knee injury and cannot run anymore, do not fight it.
Accept it.
Say to yourself, this is happening. Then ask the magic question, how will I adapt to this new reality?
This is happening. How will I adapt? That is a great rule for life. Let us move to step 4. Understand the timing of challenges.
This is a very interesting one.
This one caught my attention. The idea that challenges do not just appear randomly in our lives.
This is a fascinating psychological concept. It often feels like bad luck hits us randomly. But if you look closely, a big challenge usually shows up exactly when you're ready to grow to the next level of maturity. Or it shows up because you have ignored a small problem for far too long.
The universe as a strict teacher.
Yes. I like to say that life will knock quietly on your door at first. It'll give you a small warning.
What if I do not listen?
If you do not listen to the quiet knock, life will come back and knock louder. If you put your fingers in your ears and still ignore it, life will eventually break the door completely down.
I need a concrete example of this. How does a challenge show up because we ignored something? Show me the pattern.
Let us talk about human relationships again. They are the best examples. Let us say you have a bad habit in your communication.
Like what?
When a friend says something that hurts your feelings, you do not speak up. You hate conflict. You just swallow your feelings and stay completely quiet to keep the peace. You smile and pretend everything is fine.
That is very common people-pleasing.
Right. You do this with a good friend. You stay quiet for months. The resentment builds up inside you like a volcano. Eventually, the volcano erupts. You have a massive screaming argument over something tiny, and the friendship is destroyed.
Okay, the door was broken down.
Yes. But let us say you do not learn the lesson. A year later, you make a brand new friend. And what do?
Let me guess. The same thing.
You use your exact same habits. You stay quiet when you are hurt. You swallow your feelings. And guess what? 6 months later, another massive volcano explosion happens. Another friendship is ruined.
The exact same pattern repeating with different people.
Yes, life is showing you a repeating pattern. The challenge, the explosive argument, will keep returning to your life over and over again until you learn the lesson.
What is the lesson?
The lesson life is trying to teach you is you must learn how to communicate your boundaries early, with calm words. Until you learn that new skill, you will keep facing the exact same explosion.
It is exactly like being a student in school.
How so?
If you sit down and fail the final math test, the teacher does not say, oh, well, congratulations, move to the next grade.
No, they do not.
No. The teacher makes you take the math class again. You have to take the same test until you pass it.
That is a brilliant analogy. The challenge appears because it is time for you to pass that specific test. The universe is handing you the exam paper again.
That changes how I see my problems.
When you finally realize this, your whole perspective changes. You stop blaming other people. You stop saying, all my friends are crazy.
You look at yourself.
You look at the repeating argument, and you say with honesty, oh, wait, I am the common factor here. This is my test. What do I need to learn to pass this exam and finally move forward?
That requires deep honesty. You have to look yourself in the mirror without blinking.
Yes.
Okay, we are at step 5. View success and failure as just information. I want to spend some time here because I want to push back on this.
Go right ahead.
It is very easy to see how we learn from failure. Failure causes pain. It creates the tiny tears in the muscle we talked about. We pay attention to pain.
Yes.
But what about success? Doesn't success mean our mindset is perfect? Doesn't success mean we did everything exactly right?
It is extremely tempting to believe that.
Yeah.
When we succeed, our brain releases chemicals. We feel amazing.
We feel like winners.
We want to throw a party, point at ourselves and say, I am a total genius. My strategy was flawless. I am smarter than everyone else.
Isn't that a good thing?
But success can actually be a very dangerous trap for your mindset.
A trap. How can winning be dangerous?
Because success naturally makes humans comfortable, and comfort makes you lazy.
Lazy.
If you win easily, you might stop trying so hard. You stop analyzing your process. You stop paying attention to the small, important details.
I can see that.
And here's the most dangerous part. Sometimes you succeed simply because you got incredibly lucky, not because you had a good strategy.
Oh, that is a scary thought. Succeeding by accident, but believing you are an expert.
Exactly. Imagine a person walking through a dark room filled with sharp furniture. They close their eyes and run across the room.
Okay.
By pure luck, they do not hit anything. They reach the other side. They think, wow, I have a superpower. I am a master at running in the dark.
But they are not.
The success gave them terrible information. The next day, they try it again, run full speed, hit a table, and break their leg.
That paints a very clear picture. The success lied to them. It reinforced a bad habit.
Yes, that is why step 5 is so crucial. You must train your mind to view both success and failure as cold, neutral information.
Just data.
They are just data points on a graph. They are not magic.
How do we use that data in a practical way?
Think of them as simple arrows pointing left or right. Success tells you what specific actions to repeat. Failure tells you what specific actions to change. That is all.
That makes it very simple.
Imagine you are a chef cooking a new soup. If the soup tastes amazing, the success tells you repeat the amount of salt next time. If you burn the soup, the failure tells you change the temperature of the stove next time.
You do not have an emotional breakdown over the soup. You just adjust the recipe. But the key to this step, the hardest part, is not attaching your self-worth to the outcome, right?
This is the absolute core of a strong mindset. You must separate your value as a human being from your external results.
Explain that a bit more.
If you succeed at work and get a promotion, do not let your ego say, I am a superior human being.
And if I fail?
If you fail a project and lose money, do not let your shame say, I am worthless, stupid garbage.
Because if you tie your internal worth to a successful project, your identity is very fragile. The moment you fail, and you will fail eventually, you do not just lose a project, you lose your whole identity. You shatter into pieces.
Beautifully said. You must keep your self-worth safe in a locked box inside your chest. Your worth never changes. It is untouchable.
I love that image. A locked box.
Treat the daily successes and the daily failures as completely separate from your value. They are just the weather outside the house. You are safe inside.
I love how clear that makes everything. It removes all the heavy dramatic emotion from our daily wins and losses. We just look at the data and adjust the recipe.
Yes, exactly.
So let us review the journey we just took. We covered the 5 mechanical steps of mindset growth.
Let's hear the summary.
We change our questions from why me to what can I learn to take our power back. We use the uncomfortable feeling of confusion as a signal to slow down and let our brain build new roads.
Perfect.
We accept change by dropping the rope and stopping the fight against reality. We look at the timing of our challenges to find the repeating tests we need to pass. And finally, we treat both our shining successes and our painful failures as just simple data.
That is a perfect summary. If you actively practice those 5 steps, your mind will change physically and emotionally. You will become incredibly resilient.
Resilient, what a great word.
It means you are like a rubber band. When life stretches you and pulls you into a difficult time, you do not snap. You stretch, and then you bounce back quickly to your strong shape.
That sounds absolutely wonderful in theory. I love the idea of being a resilient rubber band. But theory can be very hard to use when it is a busy Tuesday morning, the baby is crying, you are late for work, and you spill your breakfast.
Very true. Real life is messy.
Let us move to part 4. Practical tips you can use in real life. I do not want to just leave our listener with philosophy. I want to give them sharp tools. Let us give them 3 simple rules they can use today, right after this podcast ends.
I completely agree. Philosophy needs action. I have 3 very practical tips for you. These are physical actions you can take immediately.
What is tip number 1?
Tip number 1 is practice the pause.
The pause. That sounds very simple. What is it?
The concept is simple, but the execution takes practice. When something unexpected happens, especially something negative or scary, do not react immediately.
Do not react.
Human brains are wired for fast action. We want to jump into defense or jump into anger. Instead, I want you to freeze your body. Stop moving.
Just stop.
Take one very slow, very deep breath in through your nose, hold it for a second, and let it out through your mouth.
Let me be a little skeptical here. Just one deep breath. Does that really do anything, or is that just something yoga teachers say to sound relaxing?
It is not just a nice saying. It is hard science. Let us look at the biology. Inside your brain, there is an alarm bell called the amygdala.
We talked about the alarm earlier.
Yes. When a stressful event happens, this alarm bell rings. It floods your body with adrenaline. It prepares you to punch someone or run away. This is the fight or flight response.
Okay.
When the alarm is ringing, the logical, smart part of your brain actually shuts down.
So when I am stressed, I am literally less intelligent.
Yes. You cannot think clearly. But here is the magic of the pause. When you take a slow, deep breath, you activate a nerve in your chest.
What does the nerve do?
Think of this nerve as the brake pedal in a car. The deep breath pushes the brake pedal. It sends a chemical signal up to your brain that says, we are safe. We are not being chased by a tiger.
And the alarm stops.
The alarm bell turns off. The logical part of your brain turns back on.
That is amazing. So the physical breath forces the brain to calm down.
Yes. Mentally, the pause creates a tiny empty space between the stressful event and your reaction. It might only be 1 second long.
But it is an important second.
In that 1 second space, you have all your power. You have a choice. During the pause, you can force yourself to look at what is actually happening instead of what you fear might happen.
Give me a real-life example of using the pause to separate fact from fear.
Let us imagine you are sitting at your desk. Your boss sends you a short email that says, come to my office right now. We need to talk.
Oh, my stomach drops just hearing that. My heart rate shoots up immediately.
Exactly. The alarm bell is ringing. What your fear tells you is happening is this.
Oh.
I made a huge mistake. I'm getting fired. I am going to lose my salary. I will lose my house. My whole life is over.
It escalates so quickly.
If you react to the fear without pausing, you jump up from your desk. You walk into the boss's office sweating, breathing fast, looking defensive and panicked. You might say something stupid.
And what does the pause do in that moment?
You read the email. You feel the panic. You freeze. You take the deep breath. You push the brake pedal. Then you ask your logical brain, what is actually happening?
What is the reality?
The logical brain says, fact, your boss wants to speak to you. Fact, the email was short. That is the only information you have. The rest is just a scary movie your brain directed.
Ah, I love that. A scary movie.
By taking the pause, you separate the single fact from the giant fear. You stand up, you walk into the office calm, and you are ready to listen.
That is an incredibly helpful tool. The pause gives you a shield against your own panic. Okay, let us look at tip 2. Write it down to find the pattern.
Yes.
I am personally a big fan of writing things down, but why is this specific action so important for building our mindset?
When you are going through a difficult time, or even just a frustrating week, your head gets full of racing thoughts. They are flying around your mind like 100 angry bees trapped in a glass jar.
That is a great visual. It is very loud and very fast.
It is almost impossible to see clearly when everything is buzzing inside your head. You need to open the jar and put those thoughts down on physical paper.
I know some people hate journaling. They think it has to be a long, detailed diary entry, like writing a novel about their feelings. Does it need to be complex?
Not at all. Please keep it incredibly simple. You do not need to be a poet. You just need to be a reporter gathering facts. Grab a cheap notebook.
Okay, got the notebook.
When you feel upset, draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left side, write what happened. On the right side, write how I reacted.
Give me an example of what that looks like on the paper.
Very simple bullet points. Left side, I got a bad grade on my science test. Right side, I wanted to drop out of school, I yelled at my roommate, and I ate a whole box of cookies. Or, left side, my friend canceled our dinner plans. Right side, I assume she hates me, and I refuse to answer her text messages for 2 days.
That is very honest. It is almost embarrassing to look at your own overreactions written down like that in plain text.
It can be a little embarrassing, but it is necessary data. You write these short notes every few days, then the magic happens.
What is the magic?
After a month, you sit down with a cup of tea and you read the notebook. Because the thoughts are out of your head and on the paper, you become an objective observer. You will start to see your own habits jumping off the page. You will spot a clear pattern.
Like spotting the repeating math test from step 4.
Exactly. You might read your notes and realize, wow, look at this. Every single time I get bad news, my immediate reaction is to punish my body with junk food.
Or every time I feel rejected, I push my friends away and isolate myself.
You cannot change a pattern until you can clearly see the pattern.
That makes perfect sense.
When the pattern is invisible inside your head, it controls you. Once you see the pattern written in ink on paper, it is outside of you. You can point your finger at it and say, I see you. I do not like this habit. I am going to use my energy to change it. Writing it down is like holding up a mirror to your own mind. It forces you to look at reality.
That is a beautiful practice. Left side fact, right side reaction. I can start doing that tonight. Now, tip 3. Focus on the small daily moments.
This one is so important.
And I think this is where many people fail. We often think that building a strong, wise mindset only happens during huge, dramatic life tragedies. We think we have to wait for a disaster to prove we are strong.
That is a massive mistake. If you wait for a huge life event to start working on your mindset, you will fail. Think about a sailor.
Oh, sailor.
If you wait for a violent hurricane to try and learn how to sail a boat, the boat will sink. You must learn to sail when the water is calm and the sun is shining. Your mindset is the exact same. Real growth happens quietly, in the tiny, boring, small moments of your normal Tuesday.
What kind of small moments are you talking about? Give me the training ground.
Let us look at your morning routine. How do you respond when you accidentally spill your hot coffee all over the clean kitchen floor?
Oh, that is a great test. The spilled coffee test.
Yes. What is your reaction? Do you yell at the top of your lungs? Do you call yourself an idiot?
Do you let that one spilled drink ruin your mood for the next 4 hours, snapping at your coworkers because your morning was ruined?
Or do you practice the pause? Do you take a breath, go get a towel, wipe up the brown puddle, and say to yourself, well, that was annoying, but it was just a tiny accident? Do you throw the towel away and move on with a calm mind?
It seems silly, but that reaction really is a choice. You are choosing the story.
Let us look at another small moment. How do you talk to yourself in your own head when you make the small, foolish mistake? Imagine you leave the house, lock the door, and realize your car keys are still inside on the table. You are locked out.
That is frustrating.
Do you stand on the porch and say, I am so stupid, I always ruin everything, my brain doesn't work? Or do you take a breath and say, oops, I made a mistake. I need to put a bowl by the door so I don't forget my keys tomorrow.
It is about the daily practice of kindness to yourself.
Yes. Every tiny frustration, spilled coffee, lost keys, being stuck behind a slow car in traffic, is a small weight in the gym.
Lifting the weight.
Every time you choose to respond with patience and a deep breath instead of anger, you are lifting that weight. You are building the muscle. You are building a strong, flexible mind.
We practice on the small, safe things so we are ready for the big, dangerous things.
Exactly. If you build the muscle on the spilled coffee, then years later, when a real tragedy hits, when the true storm arrives, your mind will already be strong. Your ship will be ready. You will know how to handle the heavy waves because you practiced every single day.
We have covered so much incredible ground today. We went deep into how the human brain works. Let us do a final summary of our journey to lock these ideas in place.
Sounds good. We started by looking the hardest truth right in the face. We cannot control the events of our lives. Life will bring us moments of incredible, soaring joy, and it will bring us moments of deep, crushing sadness.
Bad things will happen, and sometimes there is no magical secret reason for them. The universe is not always punishing us.
But, as we learned, the lack of control is not a reason to give up. Because while we do not control the event, we completely control our response.
Yes.
We can stop asking the victim question, why me, and start asking the student question, what can I learn? We can take the heavy box of broken glass that life hands us, and we can choose to slowly, patiently, glue the pieces into a beautiful art piece. We can use every single experience, the big tragedies and the small spilled coffees, to tear the muscle and grow it back stronger.
That is the perfect summary, and that leads to a very motivating message that I want to share as we close today.
I would love to hear it.
I want to say this directly to you, the listener. Wherever you are right now, whatever you are going through, you are so much stronger than you think you are. You are not trapped. You are not stuck.
That is a powerful message. It truly does not matter what happened in your past. It does not matter how many times you feel you have failed or made the wrong choice. Every single morning when you wake up, it is a brand new chance to learn and evolve.
You have the ultimate power to create your own meaning out of the chaos.
Yes, you do. I want you to trust your own ability to handle whatever comes next in your story. If you practice the pause, if you write down your patterns, if you use your confusion as a signal to slow down, and if you accept the reality of change, you can handle absolutely anything life puts in front of you. You can build a masterpiece out of the broken pieces.
Thank you so much for breaking these complex psychological ideas down into such simple, clear steps for us today. It has been a truly powerful and eye-opening conversation.
It was my pleasure.
Before we officially go, I want to leave you, our listener, with a final piece of homework. I want you to ask yourself a question today while you are walking or cooking dinner or driving your car.
What is the question?
Think about a specific, difficult moment from your past. Maybe it was a few years ago. Maybe it was a very painful breakup, a terrible failure at work, or a period of deep loneliness. Look back at that dark time. What is one positive, active lesson that pain taught you that makes you a stronger, kinder, or braver person today?
Find that specific lesson. Hold it in your mind. That lesson is your hard proof. It is the proof that you already know how to turn hard things into growth.
Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time growing your mindset with us today. We hope you take these tools, put them in your pocket, and use them to build a beautiful, resilient week. Remember the muscle, keep learning, keep pausing, and keep moving forward. Goodbye.